We tasked JayDee and Lahoud with making best starting 11s from the remaining teams in Champions League. So, Geoff, take it away for us.
Yeah, we thought we'd have a little bit of fun. A couple of composite teams, those in the knockout phases and those who are already through. So, of course, the top 8 we gave to our superior analyst, JayDee.
Oh, Jesus.
You're getting digs already. You're getting digs already. I didn't. That's no tip for me.
The man who knows that numbers don't lie.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
In amongst the also-rans and the stragglers.
Oh, Mikey.
Mikey, take it away.
Mike, I'm feeling you, bro.
I'm on the ground like this right now, so let me pick myself
What
back
have you got?
up. Look, I went with putting my championship manager, Champions League manager hat on. I went with a team that has pace, balance, flair, but also killer instinct, right? So when we see the team I put together...
I thought the spec was the best team.
Oh, yeah.
That has been in the competition so far. No?
No, this
He's doing
team...
coaching badges on
I'm putting myself in the future, so when we see the team that I drafted up, because I took my sweet time with this, I put a lot of intentionality. Voila, right? We start from back to front. Thibaut Courtois, the best goalkeeper in the competition, the best goalkeeper in the world. Anyone who thinks different, exit stage left. The back three, I went with the back three for a big reason. Nicolas Otamendi, since Jose Mourinho's come in, and even at the Club World Cup, I thought he was outstanding there. Brings an element of leadership. I mean, he's a born winner, both internationally and at the club level, and I think that he will be one to watch as well. Bremer has been a revelation since being healthy, right? Spalletti will be thanking his stars that he has that leader, the Brazilian giant, in the back line, and I like him centrally. A name that I think Premier League fans are going to know very soon is Joel Ordonez. He plays for Club Brugge, the Ecuadorian. We're going to see him at the World Cup this summer. I mean, he's linked to Liverpool, amongst other teams. PSG want him even, so it shows his quality. And now this is where the conversation gets a bit spicier, right? Vitinha, for me, best midfielder in the world right now. You can argue Pedri's in there, but right now I think Vitinha, because he's available, consistent, and he's a Champions League winner as well. He's in there. Fede Valverde. I know some Madrid fans might raise their eyebrows and think, okay, Fede hasn't been the same Fede as before, but I can't leave him out of this team. At the weekend, what he did against Real Sociedad reminded me that he needs to be next to Vitinha. This is the engine of the team, and he's the workhorse. The two fullbacks, Federico Di Marco is the best fullback right now in world football. And I know that the two guys from PSG might have something to say about it, but numbers, JayDee, the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. My guy's got the most assists of any defender in the world right now.
I'm not saying a word.
My guy's a difference maker in the final third. He's arguably the best player in Serie A right now, so I got to put him in. And this is going on form, right? Not reputation.
Are you sure?
Hakimi, though, I can't leave out Hakimi, right? Because if you look at the players who are available in the knockout round, injuries took away what was a promising start. Go back and watch the match against Barcelona. That happened in the league phase. So that still reminds me of the quality that's there. And, of course, this triumvirate of the front three. This is what I talk about, the pace, the power, the cleverness, the flair, and the killer instinct. Kylian Mbappé, leading goal scorer of the Champions League, always going to be in my team. Vinny Jr. Some people wouldn't have had him in this team, but as of late, under Arbeloa, Vinny Jr. looks revitalized. And, of course, no team of mine is going to be without Big Vic, Victor Osimhen. I mean, the Nigerian sensation is the guy. He is him, according to him, and according to a lot of other people. So, am I crazy? This team's winning every single game.
Do I leave my questions for now, or do I leave my questions for later?
No. So right now, JayDee is scratching his head, both metaphorically and physically. JayDee, you've got a number of questions. Where do you think this is wrong?
I just want to know what the spec was, right? The spec was we were given was it has to be the best team from the teams that's the form right now that's been showcased, right? So my question marks immediately would be around, well, has he shown enough consistency throughout those 8 games to turn around and deserve a place when you have players like Vanaken, who I feel like has been a sensational, just leave that there, right? Valverde, again, in and out of the team, consistency is a question mark. I love this pickup. Yeah. Definitely can see the potential there. I definitely feel like he's been one of the best goalkeepers in the competition and saved his team a number of times. The rest of that back, I mean...
The rest of the back...
I mean, there's some big...
Bremer's been brilliant in both boxes. No question about it.
Did you miss the second?
But at the second, no, I saw what? But we're talking about 8 games.
Benfica, Real Madrid.
But we're talking about 8 games. We're not talking about a single performance.
I'm talking about leadership.
We're talking about 8 games. We're talking about leadership. And he wasn't even the star. Like, where's the goalkeeper then?
No, I'm talking about the goalkeeper had one moment.
Okay, he had one game.
Nicolas Otamendi.
Who was close? Who did you look at?
Who was your other question mark?
So my one question mark.
Yildiz. There's a lot of big names missing.
So I was so tempted.
No respect for my guys from Pafos.
I was so tempted to go Ousmane Dembele, but if you look at the actual form in the Champions League, to end the Champions League, Ousmane Dembele wasn't as prevalent for me in the Champions League as, say, Vinny Jr., right? I know that you have the Benfica match, but Vinny Jr. did show up in the home matches for Real Madrid alongside Kylian Mbappé, so I had to put him in. And of course, Giuliano Simeone, that was my alternative pick to play at that right wing back spot. I actually think he's been very good for Atleti in the Champions League.
If I was a gaffer on the opposite touchline, which I am in this, I would look at this 11 and feel like we could beat them. That's how I would look at it. Because if we're going off form and we're going off confidence, right, then Geoff, I selected the team that I believe it was full of form and full of confidence in terms of what they demonstrated. Now, I want to explain my qualifications. If you didn't play a certain amount of games, I didn't include you in this because I feel like the NBA, you have to play a certain amount of games to qualify across the 8 because we're talking about the best 11 from the top 8 teams. So I'm judging you across all of the qualification campaigns.
Friends at the NBA tell you?
No, none at all. I think the 2 centre-halves speak for themselves because I think this Tottenham team can definitely say they overachieved in Europe. And I think if you look at Mickey van der Ven and what he's done so far, I think that speaks for itself. New contract to 2030 for a reason. Shout out to him. I feel like also when you look at Nico O'Reilly, I think he's definitely had an outbreak season in terms of in the fullback position, his versatility and what he's done in the midfield as well for... You got question marks over Nico O'Reilly. If you want to talk about big moments, you're talking about Real Madrid, okay, I'll give you a question mark right there. There's your question mark in terms of your response.
You let me finish.
I feel like your most improved player arguably across world football has been Dominic Szoboszlai. What he's done in a Liverpool shirt this year, chances created, recoveries, work rate, consistency.
Have you squeezed him in? I
squeezed him in because of the sheer factor of my midfield was over capacity. Look, Kimmich and Caicedo.
What the hell is Caicedo? What's this Caicedo? Is this last year?
Again, you're talking about moments. I'm going to go back to that Pafos performance and in turn remind you again that Chelsea were poor that game. And once again, one person had to turn up and showcase what they could do in the biggest moments. And also, this is one of the leading midfielders in terms of progressive passes. Over 90% has been completed in terms of success percentage. And also, we're not going to talk about recoveries, the yardage created. What more do I want from a centre midfielder? So you want to talk about highlights. You want to talk about moments. You're talking about numbers not lying. I watch the numbers of this brother and I see what he does. There's a reason why Liam Rosenior calls him the best defensive midfielder in world football. Again, the progressive part. These 2 on the wings. I had a question mark over him. I really did. I was wondering where he was going to be and whether or not he was going to make the Champions League. But when I take my bias out of it and I look at just the goal contributions, Anthony Gordon deserves this position. Marcus Rashford hasn't always started, but then again, when he's given his opportunity, he has showcased what he can do. Had some big moments as well, away at Newcastle. And the front 2, I don't need to say anything about the front 2 because arguably, alongside Kylian Mbappé, they are the best 2 forwards in world football. And I could also have Harry Kane just drop into this number 10 position at any point because he's not only a goal scorer, he's also a creator.
Before I let the attack dog go, is there a case Rashford swap him over, put Raphinha that side?
I don't have a problem with it. Raphinha, I'll take the list of players that I had just outside. Raphinha was one that I considered, no 2 ways about it. I also considered in terms of, but he hasn't played enough games in the competition in terms of what they could do overall for the number 1 position at the goalkeeper. But I thought David Raya, because Arsenal had been a staple in terms of defensively in Europe. And there were a couple of other question marks. Elise was one that I wanted to include. I really did want to include Michael Elise. 6 assists speak for himself, the form that he's in right now. But you asked me, and this was judged on pound-for-pound minutes that they spent in the competition. And these 2 have technically impacted their game and impacted their teams more in terms of the progression because these are the top 8 teams. So Elise is a part of an incredible unit, which is, of course, he's one of the stars in. Hang on. But at the same time...
Let me take my collar off, right? So I love that we're giving Marcus Rashford love because I love his performance at St. James's Park. But you cannot tell me that when you watch Barcelona in the league phase alone, you're leaving out Fermin Lopez, Anthony Anthony Gordon over Fermin Lopez?
Where was you going to put Fermin? Because
Fermin can play.
Fermin is number 9, though.
Lamine Yamal.
Lamine
Yamal.
Again.
You watched this league phase, and you told me that Anthony Gordon, take away penalties.
No, see.
Take away penalties.
See, this is what the people are being smart with. And I want people to understand this part. This is not judged on reputation. This is not judged on... You asked me to create a starting 11 based on what I saw across those 8 games. If you're telling me that Anthony Gordon didn't have a bigger impact for Newcastle than Lamine Yamal throughout that group stage, and I will ask you, how many games did you watch of Newcastle? Because how did they finish in the top 8 without Anthony Gordon's impact?
I tell you what, man, Anthony Gordon was sensational from the spot, right? From the spot. How many of his goals were from open play? That's the big question, right?
And that was a question mark.
We're rewarding, and I love numbers, right? We do Scoreline, we do Numbers Don't Lie, the show that always delivers. But I would have, if anything, why not put Dominic Szoboszlai higher up the field? I mean, Szoboszlai was sensational in that midfield role. I'd even put him in there next to Joshua Kimmich. So my big pushback at the end of the day is I love your front two. I love the balance in this team.
They saw themselves.
You took some big swings. But Moises Caicedo, that's the one I'll fight you with.
Progressive passes, one of the leaders in Europe. You know what he does in the centre midfield in terms of robust behaviour.
This could go on all day, as these two could.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.